Centerville Pioneer Cemetery. There's a lot of people that were buried in here in the early to mid 1800s and early to mid 1900s. This is an old historic cemetery. Some of these headstones are so old, the writing is almost rubbed off of them. Some of these headstones are so old they've fallen over and cracked. Looks like in recent years there's been bricks placed down in memory of certain people here that have died in recent years. There's another headstone that fell, probably just due to age. What I've noticed about people who are buried here, some of them died old, but a lot of them, shockingly, died very young, is what I've noticed. Back in the 1800s, people were dying young of, I'm sure, different diseases and everything else. But I've noticed that some of the ages were like 19 years of age. They had passed. We got a captain buried right here. Like I said, some of these stones are just so old. It's like you can see where there's writing on them, but you really just can't make it out. This gray stone right here looks like it's newer, like maybe it was replaced in recent years. And then there's this headstone right here. It looks like it's sinking into the ground, or it sank into the ground. And some of these are just overrun with leaves and plant life. Doesn't seem like the city of Fremont keeps it up too well as far as the landscaping goes. There's certain graves that are really overdrawn with branches or leaves or whatever. Interesting. There's a construction site over here. They're building homes and apartments around here. As you can see in the background, there's apartments all around this place. That one. One of these people died at age 19. It's incredible, but I know there's a broken stone right there that fell over. Like I said, I know a lot of these people, you know, back in the day, there were horrible diseases and things people were dying of, and I'm sure the medical aspect of it wasn't what it is today. So some of these people were extremely young. Wow. This has got a little gate around it, rusty little gate. Some of these people died in Oakland, San Francisco, and some even here locally in Fremont. Huh. Interesting. Some of these people were buried here in the 70s too. Some of these people were fairly recent. Not super recent, but more recent than I had realized. Interesting. Like I said, a lot of these stones look like they have sunk into the ground a little bit. Hear the crows. Yeah, a lot of these stones are well, maybe the stones were supposed to be down because it looks like some of them are embedded in some kind of concrete foundation. So maybe some of these stones were meant to be face down, or down on their backs. Oh, there's a squirrel. There's a last name of Blakehow on these stones, and there's a street here in Fremont named Blakehow. I wonder if they're named after some of these people in here. This whole family looks like it's all Blakehow. One of the main streets in Fremont is called Blakehow. Probably has a connection, I'm sure. These are some old school peeps. There's some graves under the tree over here by itself. Interesting. $18.99, 1856. Woo, man. That one is old. benches that have fallen. Like I said, the landscaping is not what it should be for a cemetery. I guess the city doesn't really do a whole lot to keep it up, unfortunately. This is some history in here, I'm sure. You know, some of these people, some of these names I've heard before. Some of these names are people named after, you know, some streets were named after some of these people, it seems like. So they should do more to upkeep this historic spot, being that's very old, very small, but very old. They should do a little bit more to, I feel, to keep up with the history part of it and keep it more well-groomed than it is. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoy what I do here, hit the subscribe button. That way you can be notified of my future endeavors. Also, if you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button. And that's all I have to say right now. Bones out.